Yo, it is raining so hard out there right now. You guys hear that? Well, hey, what better environment to make another video in? What's going on, everybody? My name is Will Tran. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about this guy again, the Red Raven. You guys had a really good response to the last video talking about the Red. Maybe you guys are talking about getting one yourself. I just recently did a shoot with this guy. I don't know why I tend to make videos about this thing after I do a shoot with them, but, you know, coincidence, maybe. But I have finally run into something that is probably going to make me upgrade to another red body. I knew it was coming, don't get me wrong, and I'm going to talk about it in this video. But first, I made Bulldog. It is dinner time. Actually, it's well past dinner time, and I haven't eaten anything yet, so I decided to make this right here. And I guess I'm going to be doing this video while my mouth is absolutely on fire. Why? Well, because... Well, to be fair, it is raining pretty hard outside, so, you know, nothing pairs better than hot, spicy noodles. Anyways, Safana. Pretty good. I also completely screwed up that egg. I underboiled one. I shattered the yolk whenever I was trying to peel it. Not too bad so far, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm gonna eat those words in about 5 minutes. This is the carbonara version of Bulldog, by the way. So it's not like the most spicy one. I do have a cup of the 2 times spicy in there in my cabinet. But I don't know, it depends on how well this video does. Maybe I'll do that one for the next one. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's a thunderstorm brewing. It's not brewing, it's already coming down. I've also been thinking about starting a food channel. I don't know if I should do it though. Would you guys watch that? I don't know. Also, I noticed that retention goes up whenever food's involved. So, maybe I should, you know, make more food. All right. All right, let's get to this video. I feel like the more I talk, this is gonna get worse. Okay, anyways. So, oh man. Hold on a second. Okay, first of all, let me cover something. A lot of people were also commenting in the comments, why'd you get a Red Raven? You could have gotten so many other Red cameras for, you know, a lot, or like whatever, like a couple $1,000s more or whatever. Let me give you guys a preface. This camera I bought off my work. I work at a camera rental shop. We were selling this camera off, and I bought the camera, and it was a full kit. It was the body, it was a screen, it was this back I/O panel right here. Everything. It was a full working kit. My boss tells me that we're gonna sell it off. And he said we're gonna sell it off for $4 grand. I was like, what? And then he said, but I know how much you like this camera, so I'll give you a first stab at $3,500. I basically threw my credit card over the table. So that's why I got this rig, because it was a full working kit. It was Red Mini Mags, it was this back I/O, it was a screen, it was a working full-on working rig, and I guess if you guys have seen enough Red camera videos, you guys know that they don't come with their accessories, so you have to buy all the accessories separately. So now I have a full working Red kit, and whenever I want to upgrade, all I have to do is buy a new body, and then I can put all the accessories that I have onto that camera. However, I have finally started to run into a problem that I knew was going to happen eventually. And I started noticing this on my last shoot. And that is this native EF mount. I know a lot of you probably saw that coming, but yes, the native EF mount has finally caught up to me. I was thinking about using some funky glass on the last shoot that I was on. And unfortunately, of course, because of this native EF mount, I could only use EF glass. Now, don't get me wrong, the film looked great, but I did want to use some Ingenue Optimus. However, of course, you cannot adapt PL to EF. The flange distance is way too big, and it's just not going to work. Which is why I probably will be upgrading to a newer red body sometime within the future, probably in the next year or so. I mean, I do have a lot of EF glass, which is one of the main reasons why I got this camera, because, hey, I have a lot of EF glass and I shoot on a lot of EF glass, but it finally caught up to a point where I was like, okay, I want to use some different glass and I can't do it. So, but think about that. I got a full working red rig for around 35, and now I'm set to use pretty much any red cameras in the future that I want. I could buy a red body, and all I have to do is stick the accessories on there, and boom, I'm ready to go. Okay, it's starting to subside a little bit. I think I can talk more normally. However, of course, I haven't built out this rig entirely just yet. I do want to add quite a couple of things. If you haven't seen that video, that was the last video I made on the red, so check it out in the top right corner or at the end of this video. But I did know that going into buying this camera. I knew at a certain point I was gonna say, I'm gonna wanna shoot on something that's not EF glass after a while, and evidently that has finally caught up to me. That's not to say that I don't like shooting on Canon glass, but I do like having the option, and that obviously makes me a little bit more marketable as a DP, but it still is a great camera. I do love it. Putting Canon Cine primes on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. It does really well for commercial work. Some people have also asked me whether or not I'd be willing to get a Komodo, and honestly, I don't really like the Komodo. I shot a couple films on the Komodo, and I personally just don't like it. I don't like the DSM-C3 bodies. And also, I don't really know where they're going with that whole Nikon Z-mount thing. I know a lot of you dogged me on that video whenever I was talking about Nikon's acquisition of Red. I still stand by my word, guys. When's the last time you've seen a Nikon camera get used on a professional film set? I did do more research after I got all that hate, and I still stand by my word now. Nikon glass, I'll give you that. Nikon glass is absolutely beautiful, especially Nikon vintage glass. But Nikon bodies, like, come on. Anytime you ask somebody, like, what are you going to shoot this project on? Nobody says the Nikon Z8. And if you do shoot video with Nikon and the Nikon Z8, then, you know, props to you, man. I don't think I could do it. I can hear you all rushing to the comments to yell at me for that. Anyway, guys, if you're, you know, if it makes you feel better, that did actually hurt quite a lot, the Bulldog. Depending on how well this video goes, maybe I'll do another one, and then I'll eat the 2X spicy one that I have in there. Knowing how the internet works, typically speaking, people like seeing people get hurt, so let me know in the comments down below.